Hello and welcome to The Gaggle, where we challenge and, if necessary, destroy media narratives. I'm George Szamuely. With me today, of course, is co-founder of The Gaggle, Peter Lavelle, host also of RT's talk show, Crosstalk. Well, the media are full of stories about a purge taking place within the military. Apparently, all kinds of far-right, right-wing nationalist, extreme white supremacist, KKK, neo-Nazis, have infiltrated the military, and they must be expunged. Um, the problem with all these media reports, of course, is that we really don't know whether any of these accusations have any merit whatsoever. Who are they? What organizations do they belong to? How long have they been there? Because after all, this is the same military that had Colin Powell in the senior military position. Even the incoming defense secretary, General Austin, was in a very senior military position. In other words, there have been many black generals, all holding extremely high posts within the military. So it's amazing that suddenly this is a hotbed of white nationalism. And nonetheless, there's a serious aspect of it is that it really is not good when you conduct any kind of widespread purges of any institution based on people's political views, because people hold political views, some on the left, some on the right, but nonetheless, they are professionals, and we expect professionals to behave professionally. And if you remember, one of the arguments that was made in defense of Peter Strzok, the FBI agent who was investigating Hillary Clinton and then investigating Donald Trump, defense of him, despite his rabid anti-Trump hatred, was that he was a professional. And just because he absolutely loathed and despised Donald Trump, that didn't affect his investigative work whatsoever. And that was the argument we've been hearing for years. So strange now that we've all become preoccupied with people's political views. Okay, what's your take, Peter?
Well, I think for me, first of all, like you said, where's the evidence? Are they members of the Klan? Are they members of the Aryan Nation? Or is it because they visit Breitbart and read the American Conservative?
Exactly.
I mean, what's the litmus test here? What I find really troubling is that attempting and going through with a purge of the military is a test case for other purges. Okay, so now these are National Guard. I suppose in one form or another they're nationalized right now. They're under the control of the federal government to execute a certain procedure to keep the Capitol safe for inauguration. Or longer, kind of like the lockdowns, okay, just 2 weeks, okay, or some kind of national security situation is announced, and then you go to then you start doing the FBI, and then you start doing the DOJ, and then you start breaking out into police forces around the country, universities, and they have to give a rationale why they're doing this. I mean, is it for the public safety? Okay, then explain what the danger is. Okay, what is the danger here? What are examples of these people that you're talking about? These National Guard people, they volunteer. They're not paid very much. All right. I mean, so service is suspect. Right. All right. That's not a very good civic attitude to have here. Right. And if I'm right, and I hope I'm wrong, then this is just a trial balloon of how far how far they can get away with all this. See, people on the left historically, they always overreach. Okay. They have these really big ideas that will solve all problems simultaneously. And over and over and over again, it just simply doesn't work. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is with this type of purging, and we're starting with the military and the National Guard, you're basically informing people you are being targeted. Okay, we are going to look at what you do. Just like you said, I mean, you can be in the military, you can be in the National Guard, and you can have your political views. We've always, in the entire history of the country, I think we've always accepted that. Why is it changing now?
Right.
Because a guy dressed up as Chewbacca in the Capitol?
Right.
Really?
Right.
Really?
That's exactly right. And let's remember when about 10 years ago, when we had the Fort Hood shooter, who was a Muslim serviceman who went crazy and shot up Fort Hood. It was about 9 people were killed, or maybe more, maybe 13 people killed. The line then was, and it was uttered by President Obama, that this does in no way reflects upon the many Muslims who are in the U.S. Armed Services. So this is just one person, one exception to the rule. We mustn't generalize at all about other Muslims. And that was a reasonable position. So now that position has been abandoned. And apparently because some nutcases burst into the Capitol building on January the 6th, so apparently there's going to be a wholesale purge of people who might share I don't know, as you say, conservative views. I mean, people, they might be reading Breitbart or the American Conservative, but, that because because some of the people who burst in may also have been reading Breitbart. So let's get rid of them. This is just simply an unacceptable way of going about things.
Yeah, and what it does, it sends a chilling effect. I mean, what I worry about is that a lot of the things that the left wants to get through in the next 2 years, really in the next year, is not popular with the public. Okay, they're not majoritarian issues, and you create this sense of a national emergency, and then of course the media is not going to criticize anything this new administration is going to do. So you create this sense of emergency, of threat. And meaning, let them, we desperately have to get this agenda through for the public safety, for the survival of the republic. I mean, this is what they're doing. They're creating this environment where the elected officials are not held accountable, and they may pursue policies where there's going to be no debate allowed, because if you debate, it must mean you're siding with the rioters on the Capitol. I mean, this is their perverse logic, and and the media is going to cheer it along. Okay. So this is just this, for me, there's just such overreach so intensely, because they want to do things before people realize what they have done.
That's right. And of course, it is a fear-mongering. There was a long story in the New York Times a few days ago in which it was illustrated by pictures of the various characters who invaded the Capitol building on January the 6th. The guy walking off with the speaker's lectern. The guy was sitting in the speaker's office with his feet on her desk. The woman who is accused of having stolen the speaker's laptop. So there was a whole series of these, and we're supposed to be chilled and terrified by this, but anyone reading this story would just find it hilarious that these idiots burst into this building, and with a view to what? They had absolutely no idea what they were going to do.
These people almost overthrew 330 years of a democratic republic, okay? This is what they look like.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the guy who's walking up with the lectern, what's the plan here? What was he planning to take over the government?
That guy, I don't know where he was from, but he wanted to bring that home and put it on his front lawn and to say, look what I got.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, okay, but this is the symbolism here is very, very important. The way they want to demonize people, and of course, they're all white racists for some reason. Okay, I don't know, George. I mean, we grew up in different parts of the United States in the time that we lived there, and I came across people that had race attitudes that I just thought were abhorrent. But overall, I never saw as an accepted thing in society. I mean, you say certain words and people are like, whoa, where are you from? Why are you saying that? Okay, I mean, making the claim that it's pervasive is nonsensical. Okay, I mean, but when you see it through the eyes of CNN and the New York Times, it's all amplified. Everything is amplified.
Right.
Okay, and this is also the continued criticism and destruction of Donald Trump. They keep pounding away at it. Okay.
Right, and that's exactly right. And of course, they keep chilling us with these words like white supremacists, which sounds terrifying. But what we know is that when we have a white supremacist like David Duke, who's regularly trotted out at every election, he gets no votes. He runs an election, he gets no votes. And in fact, in any candidate who claims whatever white supremacy or whatever, he gets 0 votes. So I mean, we're supposed to be terrified about people who obviously have no support in the country.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what, the thing is that, the left, they're just so wedded to conspiracies now. There's always a conspiracy, and they're constantly stoking these things. We went through Russiagate. Okay, and then we have at the very end, were they actually finally? John Solomon has been talking about them, and he seems like the only guy that's read them. Okay, but finally all this stuff comes out. Everything that they said for almost 4 years was completely hot air, and now we're starting all over again. Okay. Right. And what it does is to intentionally divide people, put people into different groups. And we were all taught being brought in school and media is that you never should judge someone by the way they look. Okay.
Right.
And, well, that's what they do. They're reverting.
Yeah, that's it. That's the way it works. And apparently, the most important aspect of who you are is whether you're black or whether you're white, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, and whether you're a colored woman or a white woman. That apparently is the most important thing. So they say, the Biden administration, it is so diverse. And in what way is it diverse? Well, because, all right, you've got a colored woman here, and then you have a black man here. But they all have the same views. So
yeah, well, I mean, Gina Haspel resigned. Okay, the first woman director of the CIA. She broke another glass ceiling. Well, no, she tortured people like so many other people in the CIA. So you have a female torturer as head of the CIA. Let's cheer diversity.
That's right.
You're right. They all have the same ideas.
Exactly.
They look different, and I don't care what they look like. I care about what they do.
Right. Exactly. So, like, historic breakthrough, Madeleine Albright, the first woman as Secretary of State who pulverizes Yugoslavia. What a breakthrough. This is an amazing historic breakthrough. We have a woman who destroys countries.
Most of the arms makers, the big ones, they get the big ticket contracts. Most of their companies are run by women. Their CEOs are women. Right. Hurrah! That's right. The war machine is run by women. Right. Another glass ceiling broken. Yeah. I mean, this is just ridiculous stuff. Okay, this is reverting to the past. Okay, and right. What happened to merit? I thought we were a meritocracy. I thought that's what, yeah. And that is the genius of the West, meritocracy.
Yes. Well, all right, Peter. So we will continue our customary laser-like focus. And we will be back. And remember, if you like the gaggle, please like, share, and subscribe. See you soon. Bye.